to recorded crimes under investigation.
We'll hear from the police, plus bring you details of mobile money vendors shot dead by armed robbers near Koforidua. Also in this edition, opposition NDC demands immediate withdrawal of CJ's petition against Dominic Ayine over alleged disparaging comments as it accuses the bench of judicial tyranny.
The latest persecution of Dr. Ayine is part of a grand agenda by the current Chief Justice to intimidate, cower, and muzzle all dissenting voices, particularly those in the NDC.
We'll hear from the General Secretary of the party and bring you details of Mr. Ayene's response to the General Legal Council. Also, President Akufo-Addo heads to the Upper East region today as he embarks on tour of some regions of the north. We'll speak to our reporter live as police conduct swoop to arrest criminals ahead of his arrival. We have sports.
What next for Isaac Royal Storm Dogbe after his majority decision victory over Adam Lopez on Saturday night?
And later, from the psychiatric hospital to the music studio, comedian Funny Face releases a song to tell his life story. We have more of his new song, Higher, and how he's expecting another set of twins. You want to stay for details here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apo. Thank you for choosing us. We are your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. This afternoon, security analyst with the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center, Professor Kwesi Ening, says the arrest of over 200 suspected criminals by the police after a wave of robberies in the capital raises questions about the effectiveness of the intelligence unit of the police. The police over the weekend rounded up the suspects in various locations in the capital and have assured of swift screening and prosecution. The aim is to determine whether they are connected to the Billion Van attack and other violent crimes that have hit the capital. Here's Accra Region Police Public Relations Officer, DSP Ifiatenge.
After the 3-day comprehensive exercise, we have been able to arrest 215 suspected criminals in locations such as Kolebu, Tesano, Amasaman, Nima, Dansoman, Abokobi, Accra Central, Teshi, Madina, Bachona, Jamestown, Osu, and also Lakeside. And among the 215 suspected criminals, 17 of them were women. Though this particular exercise forms part of series of exercises by the command since the beginning of this year, this particular operation was part of efforts to fight violent crimes, especially street robberies and drug peddling in Accra. And most of the items or exhibits that were retrieved include wrapped narcotic substances, sharp implements like machetes, screwdrivers, and any other offensive weapon that can be employed in the use in facilitating criminal activities. And also the police also intercepted some mixtures of concoction which were laced with narcotics substances, and we also retrieved some tramadol. The operation also targeted and impounded 168 motorbikes, which is believed to be used in facilitating the street robberies we see these days on the streets of Accra.
That's DSP Ifiatenge there, speaks for the Accra Region Police Public Relations, and she is counting on public support to connect the suspects to reported crimes. But security expert Professor Kwesi Ening says the arrest coming on the heels of recent robberies, including the attack on the Bank Billion Van, rather questions the intelligence unit of the police.
If all these people are related to this one crime, then it means the quality of police intelligence in terms of getting information needs to be improved. Because as you well know, in any operation, the more people get involved, the easier it is for the information to leak. So I'm hoping that these guys come from other previous crimes or they have a history with the Ghana Police Service. So they've just been roped in to provide some extra intelligence. The way in which this has been presented in the general media creates an impression that all these over 200 people are related to this one single crime. But whatever it is, let the police service continue to provide the public with the information that they need to begin to feel safe, secure, and hopefully to encourage the public also to provide whatever intelligence that they may have.
That's Professor Kwesi Eningnema, former Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister. Dr. Emmanuel Bombande wants the police to step up its visibility and community policing concept.
We used to have a vigorous community police system that underscored the partnership between the people, civilians, and the police. The current police administration has not continued vigorously with community policing, and they might want to look at that again. The second key policy they have not upscaled is the whole concept of police visibility, because you are also looking at deterrence. And so at strategic locations where police are stationed, criminals would think twice before they brazenly go out to engage in the type of crimes we have seen of late. Everybody knows that the issues of resources when there are competing needs is obviously always the case. But I always say you do not replace your priorities with others simply because resources are not enough.
You heard the former Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister Emmanuel Bombande. I'll take you to the eastern region town of Okrase, where a mobile money vendor has been shot dead by suspected armed robbers in the eastern regional capital. We are told that 36-year-old Solomon Ahing Pros was gunned down whilst walking home after work. Thankfully, we've been joined on the phone by the Eastern Regional Police Public Relations Officer, ASP Ebenezer Tete. We're grateful for your time here on the Midday News, sir. So we would want to first find out from you in terms of what you've gathered regarding your preliminary investigations into this particular incident. Well, it appears that we don't have ASP Ebenezer Tete there on the phone. Our Eastern Regional Correspondent, also Kofi Siao, is also monitoring that situation for us. He will join us on the line shortly, but he's been interacting with some eyewitnesses on this.
So my friend was holding a laptop and a bag, and another bag that contains money, mobile money and prepaid transactions and phones that he has sold for that day. So after closing the door, when we were coming, after we have crossed the main road, getting to our house, on the route to our house, to the road, we saw a gentleman, very tall gentleman, but the place was very dark, so we couldn't see the face. So we were coming, so we thought that somebody standing here somewhere. And we realized that the person was attempting to make call, so we just took it. Suddenly, I heard a shot, violent one. Shot. So when I heard it, I took to my house and reversed. So I didn't know where my friend was.
That's an eyewitness. Let's bring in the police again. Thankfully, ASP Ebenezer Tete joins us on the line. Thank you very much once again, sir, for your time here on the Midday News. So what is the police account of what actually happened regarding this particular incident? Okay, so we don't have ASP Ebenezer Tete there on the phone. My colleague Kofi Siao has been monitoring. He will also join us shortly with details on that. But we turn our attention to the Ashanti region and still on security. A young mother is still searching for her 4-year-old boy after he went missing more than 2 weeks ago. The boy is among 4 children who have gone missing in the Ashanti region in the past 4 months alone. 3 of them were found murdered. Here's a wrap on updates on these cases by Love FM's Rasta Sasari Donko.
At Ofinso in the Ashanti region, a young mother, Aliyah Abdullah, is still looking for her 4-year-old son. Little Dauda Abdullah has gone missing for more than 2 weeks now.
Now I'm miserable. I can't even eat or drink. Anytime I remember the child, I cry. Even when I wake up from sleep, I begin to cry.
The last person who was seen with him, Emmanuel Odro, 22, is still in police custody. He was remanded by a cordial court to reappear on the 30th of this month. Police sources say the suspect has been sending investigators on a wild goose chase. Dauda Abdullah is the fourth child to have gone missing in the month of May. The three others have been found murdered. One of them is 4-year-old Benedicta, who was found with her throat slit after she went missing for a week. Her mom has been seeking justice.
My mother returned from town without her either. That was when I realized she was missing.
"20-year-old suspect Ora Kweku, who was arrested in connection with her disappearance and murder, has since denied the offense and has been on remand after appearing before an Ofinso magistrate court. He is due in court on the 28th of this month. Residents of Ofinso Abofo nearly lynched a 22-year-old man after he was found in a bush alone with 2 children. Kweku Buabin has since denied he had intentions of abducting the children. He has been remanded into police custody by an Ofinso Circuit Court to reappear on the 30th of this month.
That's Love FM's Erastus Asari Donko there. We stay a while longer in the Ashanti region, and 3 siblings from the Obuasi area arrested for flaunting guns in a video which went viral say they regret their action. The siblings say they are innocent of any criminal acts. One of them, Apostle Alfred Dakura, has been speaking to Ohiming Terry of our security desk on how they acquired the guns.
We don't blame anybody because we ourselves, we did the video. So we don't have anything to blame anybody. But rather we blame ourselves for doing such video. We truly regret because we didn't know that such video would come out and bring a lot of issue in the country and also affecting the family. And for that reason, we truly do regret for doing such video. Now, the entire family, everybody is crying because we have been tagged that we are armed robbers. And it's a bad family. Even for myself as a pastor, even yesterday, I was in church to preach. The congregation, only few people came because a lot of people are saying that the man of God is an armed robber. In my life, I've never stolen before.
So that's my colleague Ohiming Terian there interacting with one of those siblings there in Obuasi who were picked up by the police. But before I wrap up on security, I'll take you back to the eastern region, our very first story. And part of it, we've been telling you about a robbery on a mobile money vendor who was shot dead by suspected armed robbers in the eastern regional capital. 36-year-old Solomon Ahim Pross was gunned down whilst walking home after work. It appears impossible to speak to my colleague Kofi there. But I'll turn our attention to politics now, and the opposition NDC says they are asking the Chief Justice to immediately withdraw his petition against Bolga East MP Dominic Ayene to the General Legal Council. The CJ Kwesieni Nyebwa had hauled Mr. Ayene to the council to probe him over alleged disparaging comments he made against the Supreme Court. But NDC General Secretary Johnson Asiedun Ketia says the former Deputy Attorney General cannot be accused of attacking the integrity of the Apex Court. He also describes the CJ's petition as bizarre and unfortunate, says the Constitution would suffer a major setback should the General Legal Council proceed to investigate the comments by Dr. Ayene. You can listen to him address the news conference in Accra a while ago.
Protect the integrity and independence of the judiciary and not the sensibilities of judges. Judicial vanity is a threat to justice and must not be countenanced in any democracy. We therefore join all well-meaning Ghanaians to demand that the Chief Justice withdraws his petition against Dr. Ayene forthwith. We further serve notice that as a political party, we are keenly following events and shall resist any judicial tyranny with all our might. After the 2013 election petition verdict was delivered by the Supreme Court, lawyer Sam Okujeto at a symposium organized by the Dankwa Institute, took some of the justices of the Supreme Court to the cleaners and gave his own interpretation of the judgment, contrary to what the court had determined. Also recently, when the High Court Human Rights Division presided by Justice Gifty Ajay Ado ruled against the General Legal Counsel in an application brought by lawyer Francis Sosu, lawyer Sam Okujeto once again went to town, attacking and questioning the capacity of the judge who quashed the decisions of the disciplinary committee of the General Legal Counsel, of which he is a member. Lawyer Sam Okujeto is also a leading member of the New Patriotic Party and the Council of State. Why was he not referred to the General Legal Counsel for disciplinary action by the current Chief Justice?
That's the General Secretary of the NDC. My colleague Kwesi Parker Wilson was at that news conference. He's just returned and joins me in studio with more. So, amongst others, Mr. Esiedun Ketia also suggested that the invitation forms part of a grand scheme to intimidate NDC MPs. Details.
Yeah, in fact, he says it's a judicial tyranny against lawyers who are affiliated to the NDC. According to him, some lawyers have been invited by the General Legal Counsel over similar comments. He mentioned David Annan. He mentioned Member of Parliament for... Roxy Nelson Dafiabepo, yes, also has been invited, and also lawyer Amaleba has also been invited. So according to him, a lot of individuals have made similar comment, but the General Legal Counsel or the CJ hasn't petitioned them to invite them. But unfortunately, only NDC members are being investigated.
Well, we'll get to hear from Mr. Esiedun Ketia on that particular comment there. But thank you very much, Pakab. Amongst others, did they say what exactly the next line of action will be? Did they say?
Well, the party says they are waiting patiently, even though they know that Mr. Ayeni has responded to the General Legal Counsel. They are waiting patiently for the next line of action from the General Legal Counsel. But as I mentioned, according to Esiedun Ketia says that, in fact, the country or the constitution will suffer a major setback if they proceed with that investigation.
We have more on that subsequently. But Joy News has cited a letter in which Mr. Ayeni's response to the General Legal Counsel is contained. My colleague and host of the Super Morning Show, Winston Amwa, has a copy. He joins us in studio with it. Winston, what does Dr. Ayeni say in his defense?
Well, he says that with all due respect to his lordship, the Chief Justice, I wish to state that I stand by the opinion I expressed at the said roundtable discussion, and he believes that his family convinced that the opinion he expressed neither imperiled the independence of the judiciary nor did it cause any actual or potential harm to the reputation of the individual justices who sat on the case. On the contrary, he believes that he was engaged in constructive criticism based on his reading of the unanimous judgment of the Supreme Court in exercise of his constitutionally protected rights. He continues by saying, look, my contribution at the roundtable discussion was not intended to disparage the judiciary and did not, in fact, disparage the judiciary. He says his criticism of the judicial decision after the fact does not constitute professional misconduct, and my observation about the conduct of the 2020 election petition proceedings constitute protected speech within the ambit of Article 21 of the Constitution.
So he's been defending the comments he made that day. Well, I'll take you to the court now, and the Fix the Country campaigners are this afternoon urging an Accra High Court to dismiss a case seeking to restrain them from embarking on a street protest. The campaigners say only a police officer can make a request under the Public Order Act to restrain protesters from hitting the street. They have in the last few weeks demanded better living conditions through a social media protest, but the decision to take to the street has been opposed by the police service with public health concerns as basis. Well, Attorney General Godfrey Yeboadami this morning showed up in court to argue against the street protest, but the campaigners say this is unlawful. Court correspondent Joseph Akable joins us with more. So, Joseph, you have seen the court documents. What does it say in terms of the person filing them?
So the court documents are actually filed in the name of the Republic, and so the case is actually titled "The Republic versus the Conveners Fix the Country." And in terms of the individual who signed it, is one Thomas Safo, whose license or solicitor's number is indicated. It does not state whether he is at the Attorney General Department or works with the Ghana Police Service. In terms of the affidavit in support of this particular request, it is signed by ACP Benjamin Osei, who is with Accra Region's Prosecution Department.
Well, explain why the protesters believe the AG should not be the one arguing this matter.
They make the point that under Article 88 of the Constitution, that the General is responsible for civil and criminal proceedings. But they say that under the Public Order Act, when you want to protest, you notify the police service. If the police respond to you that they can't provide protection, then you respond that you are going ahead to demonstrate. The police service now take the matter to the court. And so their argument is that it's purely a matter that is between the police and the individuals.
Yeah, we have a terrible connection to Joseph Akable. We're hoping to hear the AG's response to that. But let me take you up north. And President Akufo-Addo and his vice, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, are expected to embark on a tour of some regions of the north starting this week. Today, the president is scheduled to arrive in the Upper East region and continue to the Northeast region tomorrow. Ahead of his arrival, police and military personnel in the Northeast region have conducted a swap leading to the arrest of 13 suspects. DSP Cosmos Awe is the Waliwali Municipal Police Commander.
We in the Northeast region, under the command of our regional commander, have strategized ourselves operationally around the area. We have already received the president yesterday and is currently in the Upper East region. So far, everything is all right. We are working hard on the ground. We have strategized and we are ensuring that everything possible is going to be done according to the security strategies to get a safe visit for the president and his entourage till he goes back.
Okay. So that's a DSP Cosmos Awe, the Waliwali Municipal Police Commander there. Albert Sori is our Upper East correspondent. He joins us on the line. Albert, bring us up to speed on the president's visit to your area.
However, the president just arrived at the palace, the paramount chief of the traditional area. He's currently addressing the chief and his people. One of the key issues that people are expecting the president to address, the issue of security. You remember last week there was a wireless message. This wireless message indicated that possibly Burkinabe bandits have possibly treated the Upper East region. The Burkinabe, when he addressed the president this morning, talked about security, and he was asking the president to do something about it. So the president is expected to address that as well. We'll be here for just today. He's also expected to be at the Bindori constituency and later to the Bolga East constituency as well. So the president is currently addressing the Burkinabe.
Okay, that's Albert. Sorry, apologies for the poor quality of the phone line there. This is the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. Our top story: security analyst questions effectiveness of Police Intelligence Bureau as over 200 suspected criminals are picked up following a wave of robberies in the national capital. We'll be hearing from the General Secretary of the NDC also demanding immediate withdrawal of CJ's petition against Dominic Ayene over alleged disparaging comments as it accuses the bench of judicial tyranny. When we return from the break, we have sports, and then later from the psychiatric hospital to the music studio, comedian Fanny Face releases a song to tell his life story.
This bulletin is live in the Volta region on Jubilee Radio Keta, Volta Premier and Kekali Radio in Ho, Lolonyo FM in Hohoi, Pando FM in Pando, Fafa Radio in Joje, Radio Hogba in Angloga, Klenam Radio Bato, Victory FM Aplao. In the Eastern region, we're on K-Poly Radio in Koforidia. In the Northern region, we're on Bishara Radio, Radio 123 and Radio Justice in Tamale. And in Savannah region, we're on Inkelege FM in Bole. In the Upper East region, we're live on A1 Radio and Dreams FM in Bogatanga and Radio Fumbese in Fumbese. In Upper West, we're live on Radio Sonmale in Wa, Radio Freed in Nandom, Radio Wa in Wa, and Bolu FM in Bolu. In the Bono East region, we're on Gaskia FM in Techiman. In Bono region, we're on Sky FM and Parrots FM in Sunyai. Central region, we're live on ATL FM in Cape Coast. And in the Western region, we're on Radio Max in Takrady.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
My name is Ikuya Anderson. I'm from the Ghana Statistical Service. I'm a census official, and I'm here to count you and your household members for the 2021 Population and Housing Census.
Hey, you people, you come to count us all the time, but we get nothing out of this. Do I even have time?
Daddy, To reach take your ID card and letter in, you must be counted. It's very important.
You see, the data they collect is for various purposes. To know the total number of people in the country, the characteristics, housing conditions and stuff, to inform policy. The data in school.
The 2021 Population and Housing Census will leave no one behind. The census night is 27th June. Counting of all persons who spend the census night in Ghana will be conducted from that night to 11th July. Before then, all structures will be assigned unique numbers and basic information collected on them and their occupants from 13th to 25th June. The 2021 Population and Housing Census. You count, get counted.
Do you know that when you dial *700# on Vodafone, you are accessing a world of endless opportunities, from getting a job in another country while right here in Ghana, to playing esports in real time, from attending world-class institutions from your bedroom, to seeing specialist doctors without leaving home, and so much more. So get the best value data offers in Ghana on Vodafone. Get 1.23 GB data, no expiry data for only 5 Ghana cedis, 3.4 GB data for only 10 cedis, and 9 GB data for only 20 Ghana cedis. Dial *700# now.
Vodafone. Together we can.
Thanks for staying with us here on the Midday News. Time for sports. Hans.
Hello, Emefa.
Hi, Hans.
It's what color?
Close to red. It's
color
not.
is, okay,
it's not red. Don't worry.
Thankfully.
What's in sports?
It's 2 wins out of 2 for Isaac Dogwe since his back-to-back defeat against Emmanuel Navarrete in 2018 and 2019. Dogwe beat Adam Lopez via majority decision in a very close contest. So what next for the Royal Storm? My colleague Nathaniel Alato has more.
So Isaac Dogbe's ultimate aim now is to target all of the big names at the moment. So we're talking about the WBC, where Gary Russell is the champion, the WBA, where Leo Santa Cruz is the champion, the WBO, where his old foe Emmanuel Navarrete is the champion, and of course the IBF, which is currently vacant in terms of who is a champion. At the end of the day, what matters most is the kind of test that Isaac Dogbe has had, or the kinds of tests that he's had in building up to another world title. The happenings of last Saturday night just go to amplify that saying that to be the best, you must fight the best. Adam Lopez provided a very good test for Isaac Dogbe, and it reflected in the eventual result, which was a majority decision. In going forward, what is expected, on the major rankings, especially at the WBC where Isaac Dogbe is number 13, is that he will be moved further up. And then after that, it is expected that he can get a minimum of 2 fights before the year ends. Then he can get himself ready for the major world title challenge. Remember that last Saturday made him the NABF champion, and that is supposed to improve his rankings on all of the sanctioning bodies.
So Nathaniel Atode providing perspective on what next for Isaac Dogbe. No.
Great perspective there. Now, it has emerged that demanding information from the Minerals Commission could cost you as much as 6,000 Ghana cedis. The Media Foundation for West Africa, which applied for information from the agency, says it was asked to pay the amount before it can assess information on the fight against Galamsey. This is coming on the heels of the EC charging a Sherman MP, NS Nogbe, 1,500 cedis, to the NCA charging the Media Foundation 2,000 cedis. Private legal practitioner Samson Ladia Yenene says these high charges makes nonsense of the Right to Information law.
Some public officers are beginning to make nonsense of the law. The Media Foundation for West Africa, that helped train public officers on the law and is now testing it, including through its online publication, The Fourth Estate, has again sought information from the Minerals Commission to assist the Galamsey fight. And the commission is demanding some 6,000 Ghana cedis, that is $1,000, for information on each request about licenses it has issued, revoked, and money made from annual monitoring fees for excavators.
Samson Ladia and there. Map Pizzo is back with Showbiz. Hello, Maps.
Hi, Emefa.
What's happening, Showbiz?
All right, so Funny Face was at the Hits FM studios, and he has released a new song titled Higher. So he's moving into the music studio, into the music industry. Let's check that song out.
Yeah, go higher. 20 years and counting, Kaswa Van Dam, still me again, no. Yeah. Baby, I may say, Jename, ah, yeah. Ah, yeah. Ah, yeah.
he's expecting another set of twins.
He's expecting another set of twins, boys. And then he said, the woman was there in time of his difficult times and in his difficult times and was comforting him. And then,
twins. Well, interesting. Mapizzo, welcome back.
Thank you.
Good to see you. And that's it for the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM on myjoyonline.com. Stories making the headlines. NDC demands CJ withdraws petition against Ayine at General Legal Council. Ghana ranks second most peaceful country in Africa. 2021 census, more than 8 million structures listed already. There's more on myjoyonline.com. Wisdom, episode 21 with Pastor Menso Tabil is up next. I am MF Apau. Thanks so much for your company.
It's the power of 8. Adansi Travels is 8 years, and as part of the celebration, we are offering you the power of 8 cruise in collaboration with Joy 99.7 FM for only $3,500 per person and $6,900 per couple. You will get to